And we're back here for game 2 of a Wednesday afternoon quartet of games after a spectacular game 1 where, man, I can't even remember who won. I get so excited. The Lehigh Pioneers come out on top of the Harriman Mustangs. That was an 8-1 ball game. So game 2, the stage is set for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels and the Riverton Silverwolves. Riverton comes into this game as the visiting team, so Mountain Ridge will have the last at-bat. Colby Clausen makes the start on the mound for the Sentinels. He'll be facing a lineup leading off. It's McCade Ortiz, the junior shortstop for the Silverwolves. Batting second is Gage Woods, the senior center fielder. In the 3-hole, Stein Mozingo playing second base. Batting cleanup is the junior first baseman Bryce Mountier, followed by Cohen Allred at third base in the 5-hole. Batting sixth is Cash Wallen as the designated hitter. Talon Bruce is playing right and batting seventh. Gage Zulo, the left fielder, batting eighth. And behind the plate, the senior Easton Levitt batting ninth. They'll be taking on this Colby Clausen. We should have a really good game on tap. These two teams met on Monday. So a little rematch of the high school tournament so far.
Yeah, these are two really evenly matched teams. Both teams can pitch. Both teams can hit. Fundamentally sound on defense. I'm excited to see these two teams come at it again. They have played each other a lot over the course of the season.
Of course, we'll let you in on all of that information, get you the news from these two teams. But such a strong rivalry between these teams. Mountain Ridge, a little bit newer school. And they're so close with the boundaries. You've got, it's like the blue and red rivalry with BYU and Utah. Players on both sides, family on both sides. As McCade Ortiz pops out to short. Give you the defensive alignment for Mountain Ridge. Cade Wallen in left field, Cooper Goff in center, Ethan Iacono in right, Stockton Fowlks at third, Tyler James at short, Tegan Jenkins at second, Brody Gerard at first, and Brody Buck, the sophomore catcher, behind the plate. Gage Woods coming to the dish now.
Yeah, all of these players have likely played each other in other forms and different teams. A lot of travel ball with these players that have played with each other or against each other. A lot of baseball, a lot of history here between these two teams.
Yeah, all these kids know each other. A lot of these parents probably know each other. Always makes for a fun environment when you get together for a game like this because there's an aspect of competition, but it's almost like the familial, like, it just feels better to beat your brother sometimes.
Yeah, that's the case. And the fun part is that for the most part, these two teams have traded blows. It hasn't been a one-sided victory on any of these between these two teams. Evenly matched, evenly played. Riverton getting the best of Mountain Ridge last time on Monday. Excited to see how these two teams come out and play each other today.
Yeah, Riverton pulled out with the 3-1 win on Monday. It was just a great game, well pitched on both sides. And expect a lot of the same this afternoon. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Clausen. Catches the strike zone, running the count full. So one down here in the top of the first inning. That'll be a base hit to left, a one-out hit for Gage Woods. Gets the party started for the Silverwolves. Now Stein Mozingo will bat. Quick reminder, the winner of this game will advance to play American Fork at 7 o'clock tonight. This is a consolation bracket matchup. The loser's season will come to an end. Stein Mozingo batting .318. That was ball one from Clausen. Clausen making his 8th appearance this season. He comes into this game 0 for 3 on the year with a 2.21 ERA. And so I've got to think, just looking at the 0-3 and a 2.21 ERA. Makes me wonder how much run support Clausen's gotten this season.
Yeah, not likely a lot if you look just at that. Sometimes pitchers like Clausen here may be coming into tight situations where, you either going to win or lose, get a decision either way. But yeah, they obviously trust him to come into this game, this consolation season on the line, give him the start today.
So here's the 1-1. Runner takes off, throw down to second base. It's wide on the third base side. So that's going to be a steal for Gage Woods. He moves into scoring position for the first time. Riverton trying to get off to a fast start. The Silverwolves ended up in this game after losing 6-3 to American Fork. They gave up 4 first-inning runs and just couldn't battle back. They're trying to keep their season alive here. Counts 3-1 on Mozingo. Clausen set, checks the runner, the pitch. Fouled back, full count.
Good swing by Mozingo there. You could tell he was looking for that pitch, just a little tardy on it.
Still have the wind blowing right to left across the field. Game 1 played pretty similar to how we saw yesterday in this ballpark. The ball not carrying real well. It did look like it carried a bit better than yesterday, but we didn't have any home runs over the fence. Had a few extra base hits, and the line drive seems to be working here at UCCU ballpark.
Yeah, and just looking at the wind and the way the banners in the outfield are moving, this looks like it's wind coming from right center field across the diamond. So I think line drives are still in order here. We haven't seen the ball being flying out of this park as of yet.
And a late timeout called by Stein Mozingo. You see Colby Clausen on the mound taking a lot of time between pitches. And I kind of like that strategy with Clausen, just varying his pitch delivery time so a batter can't get comfortable in the box. Here's the payoff pitch. Strike 3. Mozingo goes down swinging. 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Now a chance for Bryce Mountier, the big Riverton first baseman. Riverton wearing the all-black pinstripes today, and I'm a sucker for pinstripes. They just always look good.
Yeah, these are good-looking unis for Riverton. Mountain Ridge going with the white pants and the red tops with the white hats. See, I'm a sucker for a white hat. I like that.
Okay. See, I get too sweaty.
Yeah.
The white hat turns yellow. Maybe that's just me.
No, it's everybody. It's everybody.
That is ball 1 to Mountier. He's hitting .411 this season. Second on the team with 28 runs driven in. Runner takes off, heading for third. Great throw, and just gets underneath the tag. I thought that tag was there in time, but Woods gets his second stolen base of the inning. That was an excellent throw from the sophomore catcher Brody Buck behind the plate. Just a hair late.
Excellent jump. Even with the second baseman baiting him, trying to get him to come back, as soon as that leg was lifted, he was gone. That's the reason he was able to beat that out.
Mountier bouncer to short. Tyler James has it.
No.
And Mountier, the speedster, gets down the line, beats the throw. That's going to be an RBI infield single for Mountier.
It's something we haven't seen a lot of base runners, meaning stealing bases, those type of things. Riverton being aggressive on the base pass, stealing third, giving him a chance. As soon as that ball was hit, it was not hit overly hard. And you watch James's approach. He did everything correct, but he was just a little too deep. And to be able to throw that Speedy Montier out, first base just didn't happen. And that's how you get runs in the playoffs, is hustle.
There's Cohen Allred. Clausen delivers strike one defensively. For the Sentinels, left to right in the outfield, Caden Wallen, Cooper Goff, Ethan Iacono, Stockton Falks at third, Tyler James at short, Tegan Jenkins at second, and Brody Gerard manning first base. Brody Buck behind the plate. One half of the battery with Colby Clausen. Counts 1-1 against Allred, who's hitting .326. And that first inning run scored by Gage Woods is the definition of manufacturing a run.
Yeah, for sure. Didn't have to do any sacrifice bunting or anything like that, but just good base running skills, being aggressive, and a great call by the Riverton coaching staff to take advantage of that.
You know, hearkening back to great base stealers of the past, Ricky Henderson was somebody, a leadoff hitter, and the adage was if Ricky draws a walk or if he reaches, it's essentially a double or a triple because you know he's stealing bases, and that's what Gage Woods was able to do here for the Silverwolves.
Yeah, for sure. Well, a lot of people don't know about Ricky Henderson is that guy did not strike out very much either. So if you look at a guy he's just a nuisance on the base pass, he's a guy that did not have a lot of swing and misses. So he was either getting put out some ground balls and fly balls or he was on the base causing problems.
Hard hit ground ball through the hole on the left side. Back-to-back base hits for the Silverwolves. They've got runners at first and second with two down for Cash Wallen.
And Riverton's making Clausen work here, having to throw a lot of pitches. In that first inning, we talked about how pitches can add up, and that towards these higher pitch counts in one inning, the more stressful pitches, the higher the volume of pitches in one inning, they start counting more.
You know, we saw that in game one today with the Harriman Mustangs. Just a lot of pitches in the first inning. Didn't end up giving a run, but that wear and tear shows up later in the ballgame. As Cash Wallen takes strike one. Wallen, the designated hitter today. Clausen misses high. Clausen misses outside, runs the count to 2-1. Quick reminder, KSLSports.com is your home for all Utah High School Championship action. We got the 5A and 6A baseball championships and softball 5A and 6A championships all weekend long. Also today, 4A, 5A, and 6A boys lacrosse. So stay tuned to KSLSports.com for all of your prep needs in the state of Utah. Clausen misses high, runs the count to 3-1. Also tomorrow, the 4A, 5A, and 6A boys soccer state championships. So a busy week here as the spring trimester, semester, year wraps up. Bouncer to third. Good play by Stockton Falks. He'll step on the bag. Riverton scores a run in the top of the first inning. We head to the bottom half. The Mountain Ridge Sentinels coming to the plate. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the first inning, UCCU ballpark on the Utah Valley University campus. The Mountain Ridge Sentinels taking on the Riverton Silverwolves. Mountain Ridge gives up a run in the top of the first inning. They'll try and get it back here in the bottom half against Nolan Peasley on the mound. Big, strong right-hander for Riverton. He'll be facing a senior leadoff hitter, third baseman Stockton Falks, hitting .420 this year. In the 2-hole, center fielder Cooper Goff, followed by Ethan Iacono and Brody Gerard in the cleanup spot. Batting 5th is left fielder Caden Wallen. Tucker Norris is the designated hitter today. He's batting 6th, followed by the catcher Brody Buck, the lone sophomore in the lineup for the Sentinels. Batting 8th is senior second baseman Tegan Jenkins, and rounding out the lineup is senior shortstop Tyler James. Mountain Ridge got here today after knocking off the Bingham Miners yesterday afternoon, picking up a 4-2 win, staying alive in the consolation bracket, getting a rematch with the Riverton Silverwolves, trying to avenge that 3-1 loss on Monday. There's Falk stepping into the box. And I feel like it's safe to say that nowhere else in the country but the Beehive State is Stockton such a popular name.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know.
So weird. It's Nolan Peasley on the mound for the Silverwolves. Misses inside behind 0-2. 2-0, I suppose, would be a better way to say that. Numbers for Peasley, he's 2-1 this season, making his 8th appearance with a 5.85 earned run average. Hard shot down the third base line. That hits the umpire. Believe that's a foul ball, but the concern right now is for the third base umpire who got struck by that line drive.
Yeah, not only did he get struck by it, but as he was trying to get out of the way, he got hit and then backpedaled, fell to his back. His button almost looked like he hit his head on the turf after he hit the ground. We've got medical staff running out now to go take a look. He is sitting up and talking, so that is a good sign.
So we'll go ahead and take a break while we attend to the umpire, and we'll be back as soon as play resumes. Well, and it looks like we're just about ready to resume here, bottom of the first inning. Mountain Ridge Sentinels taking on the Riverton Silverwolves. Nolan Peasley on the mound. Peasley facing the leadoff hitter for Mountain Ridge, Stockton Falks. And folks, happy to report the third base umpire is up. He's a gamer. He's staying in this one. He probably played hockey at some point in his life. There's nobody tougher than hockey players.
Yeah.
As Falks takes the walk. That brings Cooper Goff to the plate. Mountain Ridge sophomore center fielder. 2 sophomores in the lineup today for the Sentinels. Goff and Brody Buck behind the plate. Goff looks at strike one. Catches the outside corner once again. Goff yesterday drew a walk and scored in the first inning. Also singled, finishing the day 1 for 3. Peasley checks the runner. The pitch. Bouncer to second. 4-6-3. Double play. Riverton turns 2. The twin killing cleans the base paths. Here's Ethan Iacono.
Yeah, exactly what you want if you're Peasley on the mound. Give up a walk or a leadoff walk, and come back and get a ground ball and get a double play.
Iacono had an RBI yesterday. He also went 1 for 3. Looks at ball 1. I just continue to be impressed with the defense being played in this tournament. from double plays to outfielders being able to track balls, making sliding catches. It's been spectacular, and pitchers fielding their position as well. It's been really good all the way around.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many, too many awkward plays or anything like that. A few here in the last game, but realistically, a lot of that has to do just elements and tough plays, way the ball is hit, not bad play. This has been really good baseball.
Base hit, Iacono goes the other way with it. So the first hit for Mountain Ridge, bringing Brody Gerard to the plate.
And really no surprise in regards to how well all of these teams have played. They are all coached very well. Great fundamentals are taught in all of these programs, and there's no doubt that's the reason why a lot of these teams are here in the playoffs now.
We spent a little bit of time talking about it yesterday, and the professionals that Utah's been turning out over the last few years. Cottonwood High's got a lot of guys. Riverton's also had a couple. Tanner Banks, a left-handed reliever with the Philadelphia Phillies right now. Actually joined the Phillies last year during a playoff chase, so that's always got to be an exciting time. And it's just fun when you go into these high schools and they have the pictures hanging up of athletes who have gone on to the professional ranks in all their sports, and just being able to celebrate that.
Yeah, and Utah's had a fair amount of success with that. A lot of players that have gone on to play Major League Baseball, and it's fun to see them come back as well and get back to the community. John Buck over here at Mountain Ridge has helped build up that program. Tanner Banks comes back in the off season. He's always, involved in some way of helping the youth and teaching lessons or just, giving them advice. And all of those guys that do come back, they are professionals. They want to build the game, and they want to build the game here in Utah.
3-0 count. So a 4-pitch walk drawn by Brody Gerard. Yeah, and we see how baseball has been exploding across Utah. The Salt Lake Bees moving from their downtown ballpark and building a beautiful new facility out in Daybreak. Just to really, what it does for that franchise is it improves their amenities so that the Angels are more likely to send some of their top players here, and so fans get to see a better product. You've got the Big League Utah that is efforting bringing Major League Baseball to the state. So it's really exciting times as we see the Salt Lake and the Utah valleys grow.
Yeah, and it was really fun when they started talking about that Major League team coming in, to see all the support come out of the community about, in regards to baseball and bringing a big league team here. When they talked about maybe housing the A's for a season, it was I thought the amount of support that came out of the community just to bring that team in for 1 year was incredible, and it shows that there's a large baseball contingency here in the state of Utah that would love to have top-notch baseball come to Utah.
Well, and there's a large contingency of sports fans in Utah. We saw the support that the Utah Hockey Club received in their first year. So that pitch in the dirt, both runners advanced, so 2 in scoring position now for the Sentinels. But I think that's a perfect example of you bring in a winter sport that's already competing with the other major pro franchise in the Utah Jazz, and they get great, incredible support, even though they missed the playoffs. And we want a summer sport. We've got the fans. We have the population to support it. I'll be honest, 5 years ago, I thought Major League Baseball to Utah was a pipe dream, and it seems more realistic today than I think it ever has.
Yeah, and Big League Utah's done a great job of spearheading that, putting all the infrastructure in place, making it really attractive for Major League Baseball to bring a team here, either to relocate or expand here. They've done a great job, and the efforts continue. And hopefully it'll be a success, and there'll be a Major League Baseball team here in Utah in the near future.
Counts 1-2 on Caden Wallen, senior left fielder, hitting .271. Bouncer to third. Good throw, Cohen Allred gets the third out, so Riverton gets out of it. They give up 1 base hit, strand 2 runners. We head to the second inning. Riverton leading 1-0. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com. That's Tab Bank, home of the Tab Spending Rewards checking account, with 3.5% annual percentage yield on your account balances and 1% cash back on eligible purchases. But great rewards are just the beginning with Tab Bank, convenient online and mobile banking with no hidden fees or complex qualification requirements, no minimum opening account balance, and no account fees. It's a big deal at Tab Bank. Member FDIC. Leading off the top of the second inning for the Silverwolves, it's the 7-hole hitter Talon Bruce. Bruce hitting .295 this year. Hard hit first pitch, stabbed by the first baseman. Brody Gerard perfectly positioned. Unfortunate for Talon Bruce.
Yeah, in regards to scouting reports, you see spray charts, you'll see where they want to put defensive positions, and that right there is why those exist, so that ball, even if a ball is absolutely tagged like that one was, gives you the best chance of being in position to get an out.
And here's Gage Zulo. Zulo hitting .296. Deep drive to center, going back on it. Cooper Goff makes the grab over his shoulder. Good route by Cooper Goff. Got a good read off the bat and a great jump.
Yeah, good outfield play is like an art form. You can tell those good outfielders because they make that good first step, and they are immediately already trailing to where that ball is going to land, and Cooper Goff looking the part.
Now Easton Levitt with his first at-bat. Big swing at strike one. Levitt was 1 for 3 yesterday with a run scored against American Fork. Behind 0-2 against Colby Clausen. Clausen tries to get Levitt fishing. He's able to check his swing. Good pitch.
Yeah, it's a great location for a 0-2 pitch. Really unhittable ball, but hopefully enough that gets in him to chase. Good discipline at the plate.
Well hit. Bouncer up the center field. So a 2-out single for Easton. Levitt turns the lineup over, bringing McCade Ortiz to the plate. Ortiz grounded to short his first at-bat.
And as a pitcher, you go 0-2 on a batter throw, that nice down and into the dirt pitch there. And you followed up with a pitch there just way too much over the plate, giving the chance for that hitter to put a barrel on it. It's exactly what happened.
Ortiz hits the first pitch high to left field. Shallow making the catch is the shortstop, Tyler James, gets underneath that ball. James was the only one that was going to have a play on it, so we head to the bottom of the second inning. Mountain Ridge trailing Riverton 1-0. You're watching 6A high school baseball on KSLSports.com. Unlock your full athletic potential at Athletic Potential. We specialize in helping athletes conquer pain, recover faster, and achieve peak performance. Whether you're a professional, collegiate, high school, travel ball, or recreational athlete, our tailored approach ensures you're stronger, faster, and more resilient. From personalized physical therapy to sport-specific performance training, we guide you every step of the way. Plus, with remote coaching options, expert support is always within reach. Don't let injuries hold you back. Visit athletic-potential.com to schedule your free consultation today and take the first step towards your best performance. Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Sentinels, it's designated hitter Tucker Norris. Norris did not play in yesterday's game. Takes strike one from Nolan Peasley. Norris hitting .333 this season. Fouls the ball back.
Peasley quickly ahead, 0-2. See if he can get him chasing here. Looks like catcher's calling for something up.
Misses high. Norris making just his 8th plate appearance this season. So small sample size. He's got 2 hits in 6 official at-bats. There's the 1-2. Another pitch misses high. Even in the count. Another foul ball, stays alive, 2-2. After Norris, it'll be Brody Buck, followed by Tegan Jenkins. Again popped out of play.
Yeah, if you're Coach Whitney, you're watching your leadoff hitter right now. 5 pitch at bat. This is exactly how you want to start this inning. Start chipping away, get that pitch count up for Peasley.
Another foul ball back to the screen. Tucker Norris battling. There's 4 foul balls already in this at bat.
Yeah, even if Norris ends up getting out here, whether it's strikeout or a putout, it's still a productive at bat in regards to helping your team and helping to essentially wither Nolan or Peasley down and have his pitch count go up, so they give a better chance for your hitters following you to see better pitches.
And every pitch that Norris sees, Brody Buck is also able to look at in the on-deck circle as Norris strikes out swinging. So Buck will have a chance to face Peasley. He's hitting .321 this year.
Yeah, I'm sure Brody Buck would love to be able to put a few hits on the board this game. He struggled a little bit in the last game with multiple strikeouts.
Yeah, to that point, 3 Ks yesterday for Buck, 0 for 3 in the afternoon. Would love to turn things around and contribute. That pitch misses low, so Buck's ahead 2-0. Figures to get a good pitch to hit here. There's strike one. Really good pitch on the outside corner.
Yeah, even that pitch right there, if you're Buck, you do not want to swing at that. That's a great pitch. You're not going to hit that ball well. That's a great take for strike one.
Sharply hit ground ball. Mozingo over to Mountier. 2 down. Here's Tegan Jenkins.
Good job by Peasley to come back and get a strike and then throw another pitch into a ground ball.
Yeah, Peasley didn't panic when he fell behind Buck. Throws one good pitch, gets Buck on his heels a little bit, and gets him to ground out. This continues the great pitching performances we've seen all week. Peasley misses low with Tegan Jenkins hitting .273. Can of corn, left field catch is made by Gage Zulo. 3 up, 3 down in the second inning. We head to the third. Riverton leading 1-0. You're watching KSLSports.com. Top of the third inning, Brian Priest with you, alongside Mike Matthews today as the Riverton Silverwolves taking on the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Leading off the top of the third inning, it's senior center fielder Gage Woods. Woods has scored the only run this afternoon for either team, singling and coming around to score in the first inning for the Silverwolves. Setting the tone for another spectacular game. This is game 2 of 4 this afternoon. Game 3 will feature the Davis Darts taking on the Lehigh Pioneers. And then the winner of this game will face American Fork in our nightcap at 7 o'clock. Woods takes strike 1. A pitch from Clausen misses outside. Evens the count 1-1. Now 1-2 against Woods. After Woods, it'll be Stein Mozingo and Bryce Mountier. And strike 3 swinging. The off-speed pitch gets the job done for Colby Clausen. It's 2 strikeouts now for Clausen. There's the Riverton second baseman.
Mozingo, the other Riverton Silverwolf, that struck out this game.
Mozingo takes strike 1. He's hitting .318 this season. Has 5 doubles. Still looking for his first home run. Oh, what a time to get that first home run, and then in the state championship, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to hit your first, you want to do it here. Massive contribution, especially in a 1-0 game.
Another good breaking ball. Counts 1-2 on Mozingo. Roller to short, scooped up by Tyler James. Strong throw. Now Bryce Mountier gets a chance. Mountier singled in the first inning. He's hitting .411 this season. That pitch misses high.
Well, we've seen our fair share of 2-out rallies in this these last 5 games into the 6th game. Seems like if it's going to happen, it feels like it almost has happened with 2 outs in this tournament.
Now that has been the feeling these last 2 days. Mountier ahead in the count 2-0. Shakes off, gets the sign he wants. Clausen comes set. Misses outside behind Mountier, 3-0. See if Clausen can recalibrate and find the strike zone. So 4-pitch walk drawn by Mountier. The struggles with 2 outs continue for starting pitchers this weekend. It's really been the only time I feel like starters have struggled with 2 down.
Yeah, we've seen it. Unfortunately, a lot of times it starts with that free pass. Let's see if Riverton can capitalize.
Cohen all red. Punches a ball out of play. Here's the 0-1. Sent out to right field. Coming in, making the catch is Ethan Iacono. That'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the third inning with Mountain Ridge trailing Riverton 1-0 on KSLSports.com. And back at the ballpark, UCCU ballpark, in fact, home of the Utah Valley Wolverines. But today and all week long, it's home to the 6A State Baseball Championships here in Utah. Today, it's the Mountain Ridge Sentinels facing the Riverton Silverwolves. Leading off for the Sentinels here in the bottom of the third inning, it's the shortstop Tyler James. Couple of TJs at the bottom of this Sentinels lineup, Tegan Jenkins and Tyler James. James grounds to short. 1 out. Stockton Fowlks comes to the plate. He began the day hitting .420, drew a walk to lead off the bottom of the first.
Stockton with a connection, I believe, to Utah Valley University. I believe it was a cousin that has played, that pitched for Utah Valley University, Ethan Fowlks.
You know, we've spent a lot of time talking about high school and professional baseball in the state. The college ranks also moving up. 2 programs in the Big 12 with the Cougars and the Utes. Utah Valley, always a threat in the WAC. They've built a very good baseball program here down south in St. George. Utah Tech also with a solid baseball program. Series of players in the big leagues. And actually, Utah Valley Wolverine just about a month ago made his major league debut, becoming the 3rd Wolverine, Paxton Schultz, pitching for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, I believe he set a record for strikeouts in your debut at 8
strikeouts for a rookie coming in relief of his debut.
Yeah,
one of those baseball records, you know.
Couldn't happen to a better guy. I've had an opportunity to work with him and be around him in the last couple of years, and I'm not shocked that he was able to make his debut this year. He has just upped his game in the past year to 2 years. Everything has been better for him. And the work ethic that he has and the attitude he has towards the game, not shocked that he was able to debut and do as well as he did.
Counts 1-2 on Fowlks. Pitch misses outside. Tough call against Peasley. I think he wanted that one.
Yeah, that's a perfect pitch in that scenario right there by Peasley. Just didn't get the call or the swing.
And the 2-2 misses outside, running the count full. Line drive to right, base hit. Stockton Fowlks reaches for the second time. Bringing Cooper Goff to the plate. Another Riverton player that just came to mind for me, spent some time in the big leagues. I don't believe he's on a roster at the moment, but former catcher with the Silverwolves, Scott Barlow.
Yes.
Ended up going to Salt Lake Community College as a catcher and had his arm was just so good that, and talking with D.G. Nelson, the longtime manager for the Bruins, he said we just couldn't leave him behind the plate. We had to take advantage of it, and he built a major league career out of it.
Yeah, great player. Great player. Well, and you were talking about programs around the state. Salt Lake Community College also having another great year. Have made a couple appearances into the JUCO World Series.
I believe they play their first game of the JUCO World Series today against Florida Southwestern, in fact. Drawing an 8 seed out in Colorado. Yeah, Beehive baseball is strong. Counts 0-1 against Cooper Goff, 1 down here in the third inning. Sentinels trailing 1-0. Pops that out of play. Now 0-2. Goff and Fowlks both have good speed. It would have to be a hard hit ground ball to be able to turn 2. Check on the runner. Fowlks back in safely. Another check. Close play at first. I mean, call me sentimental, but I just, as a 40-year-old growing up in Utah and watching the way that the state and the sports scene across the state has grown in the last, since the early 2000s, let's say, with RSL coming in, and you've got the Utah Royals and all the other programs we've talked about. There's just such an appetite for competition and high-level sports here in the state.
Yeah, I think it's something that's been growing over the past 2 decades, even longer than that. And now that the fan base here has been able to be exposed to even more of that through, Real and the Jazz, and now our Utah hockey team. Like, I think what we're starting to see is that competitive nature that exists in Utah is there. And the sports, not only at that professional level, but even all the way down into the Little League level and the recreational level, are only going to just get better and better as it just becomes more a part of the culture here in Salt Lake.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it goes. A sport comes in, it starts being played at the junior levels, and then the talent level just grows over the course of a generation. And 15, 20 years later, you're just pumping out athletes to Division I schools all over the country.
Yeah.
1-2 count for Cooper Goff. 1 down here in the bottom of the third inning. Another check on Fowlks over at first. You can see Nolan Peasley very concerned about the speed of Fowlks. Do not want to get that runner into scoring position for the heart of this Sentinels lineup. And Fowlks misses outside. Or Peasley misses outside, apologies. Runner goes, hard hit line drive to right field. Fowlks turns, heads to third. He'll get the stop sign. The ball squirts free, but not far enough away for Fowlks to score. The hit and run was in order. Cooper Goff converts. He gets a single, advancing Fowlks to third. Runners at the corners with 1 down for Ethan Iacono.
Great timing by Brock Whitney on that call and that steal, allowing for that runner to go all the way to third.
It's a good job by Talon Bruce out there in right field to get that ball quickly. I thought Fowlks might be able to score easily off the bat. Bruce able to cut it off before it can get to the wall. Peasley misses high to Iacono, who's hitting .348. RBI base hit. Fowlks will score. Iacono finds the hole on the left side. The Sentinels tie it up. 1-1 here in the third.
And this is just experience by Iacono coming in. He's sitting on a pitch. He knows what he's looking for in a certain part of the zone. And Peasley throws him that pitch that he was looking for, and he jumps all over it.
Just leaving no doubt, punches that ball through the hole on the on the left side of the infield, now setting the table for Brody Gerard. Gerard walked and was stranded at first in the first inning. As Peasley delivers strike one. That ball evens the count. Mountain Ridge trying to continue this rally.
Looks like there is a little bit of action down in the Riverton bullpen.
Strike two swinging. Gerard started the day hitting .240. In the dirt, really good stop by Levitt. Comes out of his crouch, keeps that ball in front. The runner's not able to advance.
That's a great job by Levitt, catcher. Just keep that ball in front. You have one out. You got to keep the force in play, keep the double play alive by not allowing the runners to advance on a pass ball or wild pitch.
Down in the Silverwolves bullpen, that's right-handed reliever Jackson Young. And Gerard goes down swinging. 2 down here in the third. Nolan Peasley tries to stop the threat. Caden Wallen will hit.
A gritty effort by Peasley there to come back after giving up a run. Come in and get a strikeout is exactly what his team needs here. Not force at any base.
Hard hit ball caught by the first baseman. Good play by Bryce Mountier. Ends the third inning. Mountain Ridge scores a run to tie the game. It's 1-1 as we head to the fourth. You're watching high school baseball championships on KSLSports.com. Are you ready to unlock your full athletic potential? At Athletic Potential, we specialize in helping athletes conquer pain, recover faster, and achieve peak performance. Whether you're a professional, collegiate, high school, travel ball, or recreational athlete, our tailored approach ensures you're stronger, faster, and more resilient. From personalized physical therapy to sport-specific performance training, we guide you every step of the way. Plus, with remote coaching options, expert support is always within reach. Don't let injuries hold you back. Visit athletic-potential.com to schedule your free consultation today and take the first step toward your best performance yet. Leading off the fourth inning for the Silverwolves, number 33, Cash Wallen, the designated hitter. Wallen grounded out to third with a pair of runners on to end the first inning. Looks at strike one, even in the count.
Looks like Mountain Ridge is sending a little bit of personnel down to the bullpen. Nobody's warming up yet, but just anticipating.
Misses outside, counts 2-1. Wallen squares around. There's strike two. Wallen had a quick question for the umpire. I don't think you like that strike call.
Yeah, Buck unable to hold on to it. Umpire saying it crossed the zone. It wasn't that he was squared around. He had pulled back. Umpire said it was a strike.
It was the 2-2. foul down the first baseline. We'll do it over.
Nice job by Wallen there just to foul that off. It's a great pitch by Clausen.
Appeal down to first, able to check his swing. We've got a full count for the Riverton leadoff hitter here in the 4th inning.
If you're Clausen here, you want to see Wallen earn his way on.
Strike 3 looking. Wallen knew it. Spectacular execution from Colby Clausen. It's 3 Ks today for Clausen. Talon Bruce to bat, hitting .295. Bruce 0 for 1 today, had a hard luck out, a line drive to first base that was caught by a perfectly positioned Brody Gerard. Anywhere else, that's going to be a single. Strike on the outside corner, evens the count, 1-1. Foul ball makes the count 1-2.
Clausen getting inside there, just completely on the hands of Riverton's hitter.
Well, Clausen's done a great job settling in after giving up 3 singles and a run in the first inning. He's only allowed 2 base runners since.
Great idea on a pitch call there. You just threw it inside and got off his hands, and then you go immediately back outside with something a little softer. Unfortunately, it was just out of strike zone.
Laced to left field, foul. Into the bullpen. Seen a lot of action down that left field foul line already today. And that out to left down the corner, that's about the best place the ball has carried all week in this park.
Yeah, anything to the gaps and center field, it seems to just get knocked down. I've seen a few balls down the lines, even right field's carried a little bit. That left field line is the area that is carrying.
Bruce bounces to first. Not able to make the play. The ball skips under the glove of Brody Gerard. I think that's a play that Gerard should have made. We'll see what the scoring is going to be on it. That is an error, so Bruce reaches on an E3. 1 on now for Gage Zulo. So that's kind of how this game goes. Gerard took a base hit away from Bruce in the first inning. And now he lets Bruce on with an error here in the 4th. Bruce takes off on the first pitch. Good throw, beats Bruce. Looked like Bruce was safe initially. I think he overslid the bag.
Yeah, great jump by Bruce. He had that base almost completely stolen before he even threw the ball. And great slide in, just unable to stay on the base. Looks like the secondary tag after he came off was the reason he was out.
That was a terrific throw to make it even a close play at all. For Bruce, just a little bit too much speed.
We've talked about it and mentioned it multiple times in regards to the turf. It is a different surface to slide on. You're used to the consistency of dirt. You may slow down on that and be able to go into the bag. In that case, he may have just started to slide a little too late and just kept going too fast.
One of my favorite episodes of the Magic School Bus was No Friction Baseball. And I'll just tell you, if we're comparing dirt and turf, there's a lot less friction on turf. But everybody loves Miss Frizzle.
Yeah. I always found it interesting playing on the turf that, depending on the temperature as well, will change how sticky or how slippery the turf is. And you had to take it into account if you're sliding in head first or feet first in different areas, because you could completely go beyond the bag, just like we saw Bruce do.
2-2 now for Zulo. 2 down, top of the 4th inning. Well, it looks like it was a full count there, so Zulo draws the walk. Brings Easton Levitt to the plate. Levitt singled back in the 2nd inning. Levitt squares around, gets the bunt down. Interesting play by Levitt with 2 outs. Not sure, looked like he's trying to sacrifice with catcher's speed, but Levitt's thrown out. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, tied 1-1. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the 4th inning, Riverton and Mountain Ridge deadlocked at 1 apiece. Nolan Peasley still on the hill for the Silverwolves. He'll be facing the 6, 7, 8 hitters. Tucker Norris followed by Brody Buck and Tegan Jenkins.
Before the start of the inning, I was watching the Mountain Ridge dugout, and you had Fowkes talking to the 3 batters who hit first here. It looked like he was going through pitches and talking about reads, just trying to give him a little bit more in advance to see if they can get to Peasley this inning.
1-1 against Tucker Norris. Norris struck out in the 2nd inning. And waves at strike 2. Norris didn't get a lot of at-bats this year. His next plate appearance will be his 10th this season. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Takes a ball low. Reaches out in front of that ball, taps it to second base. Good play on the move by Stein Mozingo. Brody Buck, the sophomore. Buck is the son of longtime Major League veteran catcher, former All-Star John Buck. Also the Sentinels' first base coach. Well, you can get a 10-plus year veteran inside a high school baseball clubhouse. The wealth of knowledge and experience that can bring, and just the little things that the Buck can give you to look for. I think that's so important for these high school programs.
Yeah, and not that one position is necessarily better than another, but a catcher, I think that catchers in the major leagues, they know everything that's going on. They know the subtle nuances. They're commanding the field. The innate sense of what happens in a game, and to have that in a high school clubhouse has got to be an advantage.
Buck takes low. 2-2 is the count. Brody started the day hitting .321.
I also think that may be one of the reasons, if you look around Major League Baseball, I know there's a difference in head coaches in different positions, but there seems to be a little bit higher preponderance of catchers that make it to Major League head coaching positions, and I think it's because one, it's a position that demands, your ability to know what's going on in the game on all aspects of the field. But two, catchers are really just taking care of everybody else. And so it's almost kind of an innate sense. You switch from a catcher to a manager so you can take care of a team.
Well, I think the big thing to go towards that point is you'll see with catchers, there is a large amount of former catchers as managers in Major League Baseball, but the speed with which you can end your playing career and start managing, especially in the last handful of years, I believe it was Stephen Vogt retired as a catcher with the Oakland Athletics, and then immediately was hired as a manager for the Cleveland Guardians. So we've got a pitching change here at UCCU Ballpark. Coming out of the game as Nolan Peasley being replaced by number 34, Bryce Mountier, the first baseman. So we'll have a new first baseman for the Silverwolves when we come back. We'll give you the numbers. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com. So back here at UCCU Ballpark after the pitching change, the first baseman, Bryce Mountier, to the mound, and the starting pitcher, Nolan Peasley, over to first. Mountier facing Tegan Jenkins. Breaking ball crosses the middle of the plate for strike one. Pinch runner to tell you about coming in for Buck at first is Simeon Bakayoko. Good stop by Levitt behind the plate to keep that ball from getting all the way to the screen. Counts 1-1 for Tegan Jenkins. After Jenkins, it'll be Tyler James. That would mess me up. You've got Tegan Jenkins, you've got Tyler James. It's baseball, so one of them's got to be TJ.
Yeah.
How do you choose?
And neither one of them is a TJ. No.
That doesn't jive. There's ball three. Mountier misses high and outside. So a 3-1 count now for Tegan Jenkins. Hitting .273 this season. Sentinels looking to put runs on the board in back-to-back innings. Jenkins takes strike two. Tried to toss the bat away, will the umpire, to get ball four. Not working here.
Yeah, not in this tournament, not with the way they're getting outside strikes, and that one was actually painted right on the outside corner.
So full count payoff pitch coming from Mountier after he checks the runner. Bakayoko back in safely. Payoff pitch. Fouled straight back. Count remains 3-2. For Mountier, he's making just his fourth appearance on the mound this season, yet to allow an earned run. Another pop-up. That one may stay playable. And not able to make the catch is Easton Levitt. It came down. He tried to make the basket catch. Unable to hold on to it.
That's a tough break for Levitt. He's having an excellent game behind the plate today. That ball right there, with how high it is and where it is and how close it was to the net, it is extremely difficult to back up to the net like that, watch it, and see the net. That ball may ricochet off the net. It may change direction last second because of that and hit you. A lot of times, just because it is that close, it makes you hesitate, and I think that's probably why Levitt dropped that ball.
Hard hit to short, flips to second, one. Double play! A twin killing for the Silverwolves. Mountier gets out of the inning. We head to the fifth. Still tied 1-1. You're watching 6A High School Championships on KSLSports.com. And Tab Bank, home of the Tab Spend Rewards checking account with 3.5% annual percentage yield on your account balance and 1% cash back on all eligible purchases. But great rewards are just the beginning at Tab Bank. We've got convenient online and mobile banking, no hidden or complex qualification requirements, zero minimum opening balance, and no account fees. It's a big deal at Tab Bank, member FDIC. Leading off the fifth inning, it's the top of the lineup for Riverton, McCade Ortiz. Ortiz looks at strike one from Colby Clausen. Clausen ahead 0-2. Strike three, a three-pitch strikeout for Colby Clausen. Starts the fifth inning.
Dominating at bat there with Colby Clausen at the mound. Ortiz actually looked pretty comfortable in the box, just could not see the ball well enough. Clausen, 3 great pitches, records a strikeout. Nice job.
You know, we've already started to see how coaches are changing their strategy as this tournament carries on. In game one today, we saw Talon Meechan be taken out after 3 innings, likely in an effort to preserve his arm as the tournament continues. We see something similar here with Nolan Peasley, pitchers that are being effective, but now coaches have to eye the next 2 or 3 days as they get deeper into this tournament and managing their bullpens and arm availability.
Yeah, depth comes into play here and how much pitching your team has. And it was always nice to have a handful of guys that have some experience throughout the season so that you can reach in to your bullpen in these situations in the playoffs and be able to put a guy out on the mound that has some experience that you have some confidence in. Go get outs when you need them.
Woods pulls that ball foul down the first baseline, counts 1-2. Gage Woods singled and scored the only Silverwolf run today back in the first inning. Oh my, how things have changed since the first as Woods strikes out swinging. The Silverwolves look like they might be building a big inning in the first inning. Instead, Clausen's able to rebound. He allows only 1 run, and he's been nailed since. Now 5 strikeouts for Clausen today.
Clausen, you got to go get strike 1 right here.
Mazingo unable to check his swing. Strike 1. Ball 1 misses low.
Same pitch as that pitch before. Mazingo able to read it a little better this time.
Mazingo hitting .318, looking for his first base hit today, 0 for 2 so far. So that ball gets behind Buck. 2-1 now. Now 3-1.
If you're Clausen here, you challenge him. You let him hit this ball. If you've been watching any of these games, and all these coaching staffs have, you've yet to see a ball leave the park. I would put this ball where you could try and go hit it and see if you can get an out.
And the 3-1. Ball 4. Mozingo draws the walk. Here's Bryce Mountier. So 2 down here in the top of the 5th inning. Riverton trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time since the first inning. Great game so far. We're tied 1-1. This is an elimination game. The winner advances. They'll face American Fork tonight at 7 o'clock, the number 1 seed in the 6A bracket. As Mountier looks at strike one. Line to short. Catch is made by James. So Clausen pitches around a 2-out walk. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still 1-1 in Orem. You're watching 6A High School Baseball Championships on KSL. Welcome back to Orem, Utah, the 6A High School Baseball Championships. The Mountain Ridge Sentinels hosting the Riverton Silverwolves. Silverwolves scored 1 run in the first inning. They haven't scored since. Mountain Ridge evened the game at 1 in the 3rd. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bryce Mountier on the mound facing the 9-hole hitter Tyler James. James swings at the first pitch, lifts it out to right field, and the catch is made by Talon Bruce. So James is retired for the second time. Here's Stockton Fowlks. Fowlks is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single.
I actually like that approach by Tyler James on Mountain Ridge. Come out, look for a really good first pitch to hit. Got a barrel to it, unfortunately just a little bit underneath and fly out.
Fowlks looks at strike one. Fowlks scored the only run of the game for Mountain Ridge. Well, you can tell these two teams know each other well. Separated by just a handful of miles geographically, if that much.
Well, and as many times as they've seen each other, you know that these hitters have seen some of these pitchers, and have the pitchers have the success that they're having right now just shows how well they're performing.
6-3 put out. Stockton Fowlks is retired for the first time. There's Cooper Goff.
Great dig at first by Peasley there.
Yeah, these middle infielders, third basemen, have been tasked on this fast surface. You've already mentioned it a couple of times how they're playing a little bit deeper than they're normally used to. That ends up leading to a lot of throws that come up short, making the job for a first baseman a little bit more difficult, but they've been up to the task so far these last 2 days.
Yeah, interesting note. I've seen multiple occasions third basemen at the collegiate level that'll field the ball behind third base or a little like 4 or 5 steps beyond first base, and they will purposely throw a ball that one hops the first baseman on a big hop because it gets there faster than trying to get a ball there in the air. Just the subtle things that you'll see when you're playing on a full turf surface like this. Or even Ortiz right now, just looking at shortstop placement, he's 4 steps beyond what would be considered the infield dirt into the outfield grass, so to speak, just ready to play a ball that maybe hits sharply up the middle.
Another benefit from playing that, you're talking throwing from third base to first and deliberately playing that hop, what you're doing is you're creating hopefully an easier play for your first baseman instead of a potential in-between hop, a short hop, something that's more difficult to handle. As Cooper Goff strikes out looking, Bryce Mountier stoked coming off of the mound. It's tied 1-1 after 5 innings of play here in Orem. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com. Top of the 6th inning, Riverton coming to the plate. It's going to be Cohen Allred, followed by Cash Wallen and Talon Bruce. Still facing Colby Clausen. Clausen's been nailed since they given up 3 hits in the first inning. Clausen misses outside. He's got 5 strikeouts already this afternoon. He's pitched around 3 walks, given up 4 base hits. So a lot of traffic for Riverton, but Clausen's done a really good job of buckling down with runners on.
Yeah, and I'm sure Brock Whitney's got a plan here in regards to what he's going to do with Clausen, depending on how many hitters he ends up facing, how many runners they get on base. It looks like he's going to stay with him as long as he's still got the hot hand.
Cohen Allred behind in the count, 0-2. Strike three looking. Allred's retired on 3 straight pitches, bringing Cash Wallen to the plate. Colby Clausen with that breaking ball. Drops it right in the zone. Nice pitch. Wallen looks at strike one. He struck out looking in his previous at-bat, 0 for 2 this afternoon. Foul tip, strike 2.
Yeah, Clausen's jumping ahead of hitters here. This is good. If you're Wallen at the plate, at this point, you want to battle. After your last at-bat, striking out looking, you want to go down swinging here, or you want to chew up some pitches.
Did he get a piece of that ball? The umpire says yes. So Wallen stays alive. Went chasing on that pitch in the dirt. Clausen got what he wanted. This Wallen gets a piece of it to stay alive. And there's your strike 3, tag to complete the strikeout. It's now 7 Ks today for Clausen. Talon Bruce now. Bruce lined out to first and reached on an error by the first baseman, Brody Gerard. And it's looking like this game, just like the previous 5 these last 2 days, are going to come down to the final inning. Turns on that ball, is single into right. So Talon Bruce with his first base hit today. And again, another runner reaches with 2 down. We've talked about how effective Clausen has been. He's retired the first 2 batters in each of the last 4 innings, and then with 2 down, a runner reaches, whether it's been a walk or a base hit.
Yeah, tough to say why that is, other than maybe the hitters lock in, maybe they're ready for it, or maybe he has a little bit of a mental, emotional letdown. Either way, Riverton being tough outs with 2 outs.
We have not seen a lot of 3 up, 3 down innings the last couple of days. Gage Zulo ahead 1-0. Bruce dancing around at first. Throw almost gets away. Good play by Gerard.
Bullpen for Mountain Ridge is now busy. Left-hander's been up for a greater than a half inning now, just ready to go when needed.
Getting back in safely. The snap throw down to first. Zulo ahead 2-0. Clausen's going to have a word with his catcher and third baseman real quick.
A lot of times you'll see these visits. They're usually provoked by the dugout. If their third baseman's the first one to run in, usually your head coach, one of your assistant coaches says, hey, go talk to him. What a lot of times you're doing here is you're heating up the guy in the bullpen now. You've been kind of keeping him warm, but he isn't going full speed yet. And it basically gives him 2 to almost 5 pitches to get hot so that he can come into the game when needed.
There's the 2-0. Misses low. 3-0 for Gage Zulo. After Zulo, it'll be Easton Levitt. There's strike one. And you can see Bruce dancing all over the place down there at first base. The catcher and the pitcher very aware of Bruce. Counts 3-1.
Oh.
Hard hit, two bouncer off the glove of Tyler James.
They're going to send him. Oh, no.
The base runner, Bruce, gets the red light rounding third base. Thought he might get the go sign. Instead, Silverwolves have runners at the corners with two down. I don't think the third base coach anticipated the difficulty picking up that loose ball in center field.
Yeah, that's a tough read by a third base coach because all you're seeing is you're trying to figure out timing. How long is it going to take for that ball to be fielded? Does he have a good enough arm to throw him out? You've got two outs. Don't necessarily want to make that last out at home right there when you get a chance to knock him in.
So that's going to be the end of the day for Colby Clausen. We have a left-hander coming into the game for Mountain Ridge. We'll go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with the numbers for the new Sentinels pitcher. It's 1-1 with the Silverwolves threatening runners at the corners here in the top of the sixth. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com. Back here at UCCU Ballpark, Riverton Silverwolves threatening with runners at the corners and two down. Pitching change to tell you about coming out of the game is Colby Clausen. Replacing him is a left-handed McKay Callahan. Callahan will face Easton Levitt, the 9-hole hitter, catcher for the Silverwolves. The numbers for Callahan this year. He's making his 11th appearance of the season. He does have one save. Got an 0-2 record, a 2.44 earned run average. And he is coming on to put out a fire right now. Two down. Clausen was pitching well, but looked like he may have been tiring just a bit. You also want to try and save some of those bullets for the next couple of days. So here's Callahan facing Easton Levitt. Fly ball center field coming in, making the catch. Cooper Goff. So Callahan throws one pitch to end the inning. We go to the bottom half of the sixth. Still deadlocked at 1. You're watching KSLSports.com. Bottom of the sixth inning, Riverton Silverwolves, Mountain Ridge Sentinels 1-1. It's been a great game so far. Both teams on their second pitcher. It's Bryce Mountier on the mound for the Silverwolves here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Got a tough part of the lineup to battle through. The 3-4-5 hitters for the Sentinels. It's Ethan Iacono, followed by Brody Gerard and Caden Wallen. Iacono is now 3 for 3 today as he rips the first pitch into center field for a leadoff single. And with that base hit, we see action getting started in the Riverton bullpen almost immediately. There's Brody Gerard. Bottom of the sixth inning, tie game. Riverton can't afford to give up anything right here. Squares around, beautiful bunt. A picture-perfect sacrifice from Brody Gerard. Moves Iacono to second for Caden Wallen.
Great execution by Mountain Ridge. Runner in scoring position. That's why you practice. All you kids that don't like to practice bunting and sacrifice bunts, take a look at this. Bottom of the sixth inning, tie game to keep your season alive. That may be the reason why Mountain Ridge may move on.
I do believe that's the best executed sacrifice bunt we've seen the last 2 days. As Caden Wallen looks at strike one, the left-hander. In terms of fundamentals, I would say the bunting approach has been one of the bigger struggles for a lot of teams this week. As Wallen bounces a ball to first, Iacono advances to third on the play, but there's 2 down now for Tucker Norris. So a quick 2 outs after the leadoff single. Tucker Norris with an RBI chance now.
We are
going to have a pinch hitter, actually. Riker Morton coming in to pinch hit. Morton went 0 for 3 yesterday. He did reach on an error. He's got 6 RBIs this year, hitting about 290. So Morton takes the at-bat, coming in for Tucker Norris. Looks at strike one.
It's a big at-bat for Riker. 2 outs, go-ahead runs 90 feet away.
Pops it up, shallow right field. The second baseman's going to make the call. Actually stayed on the infield. The catch is made by Mozingo, so that'll end the threat. We head to the 7th inning, still tied 1-1. You're watching 6A High School Baseball Championships on KSLSports.com. All right, coming down to this, top of the 7th inning, McCade Ortiz leading off for the Silverwolves. It's 1-2-3 due up against McKay Callahan. Callahan came on to throw 1 pitch, ending the 6th inning against Riverton, getting Easton Levitt to fly out to center field with runners at the corners. Strike one swinging for McCade Ortiz. Ortiz is looking for his first base hit today. He's 0 for 3. Closing the book on Colby Clausen, he went 5 2/3, scattered 5 hits, allowed 1 run, struck out 7 and walked 3. Just a beautiful pitch right there by Callahan, coming in on the inside edge of the plate. Gets Ortiz out in front, counts 1-2.
If you're Ortiz here, you got to do a quick reset, put a ball in play right here.
One bouncer to short, deep throw from the hole. Just in time. Good stretch by Gerard at first.
Oh, we talked about that one hop, big one hop, throw to first. Tyler James utilizing it there. Now his first baseman take a really long stretch, knowing exactly where that ball is going to hop up.
Now Gage Woods scored the only run this afternoon for Riverton way back in the first inning. Riverton looked like they might try and run away with this one. And the bats have been relatively quiet ever since. So Woods looks at strike one. Three hops to second base. Another good play by Jenkins. So 2 down in the top of the 7th. Stein Mozingo now. Looking ahead to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's the latter third of the order for the Sentinels. 7, 8, 9, Brody Buck, Tegan Jenkins, and Tyler James due up.
You just had Brock Whitney, head coach from Mountain Ridge, yell out to his infield, including his pitcher, hey, let's go, get this last out.
And we've been talking about it all day. Getting 2 quick outs and then being able to finish the inning has been a struggle. Callahan misses outside. If he can get Mozingo here, it would be the first 1-2-3 inning of the day for the Sentinels. Pops it down the foul line along first base, out of play. Stein Mozingo hitting .318. A lot of seniors on this field today. None of these guys want their high school careers to end in this game. Mozingo again goes the other way. Count remains 1-2. 4 seniors in the starting lineup for the Silverwolves. 6 seniors in the starting lineup for the Sentinels. A little bit extra to play for today in the consolation bracket. So 1-2, slow roller to short. Good strong throw. 1-2-3 inning for McKay Callahan. We head to the bottom of the 7th. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com. Bryce Mountier on the mound for the Silverwolves, trying to shut down the Sentinels one more inning and force extras. For Mountain Ridge, it's Brody Buck, the sophomore, followed by seniors Tegan Jenkins and Tyler James. If any of them can reach, we'll go to the top of the lineup in Stockton Phelps. Oh, Brody Buck, 0 for 1 this afternoon, walked back in the 4th inning. Takes ball 1. Mountier working quickly. Gets the ball back from the catcher and immediately is set, ready to throw. Popped, foul territory, third base side. Just gets over to the side wall.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, how much foul territory is on this field. That is a long run for the third baseman, Allred. That ball landed maybe 2 feet over the concrete barrier onto the grass. I think if he has a little bit more time to run or a little bit less distance to run, he may be able to reach over and grab that. Just too much distance to cover.
So another life now for Brody Buck. Counts 1-1. Pop to left, going back on it. Underneath it is Zulo. He'll make the grab. 1 down. Now Tegan Jenkins has a chance.
Jenkins and James both have pretty good speed. If they can get on the base and turn the lineup over, they could give them a chance to get a run across the board and win this game.
Mountier attacking with strike 1. Misses outside, evens the count. Now 2-1. Good eye right there from Tegan Jenkins. He is nothing for 2 today. Grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to end the 4th inning. Looks at strike 2. So Jenkins is going to have to get aggressive and protect here. And the Riverton faithful wanted that call. The strike is not coming. Runs the count full. 3-2. Are we just kind of conditioned to expect that outside strike right now? Here's the payoff pitch. And just misses. Tegan Jenkins draws the walk. So 1 out, base on balls. Here's Tyler James.
Interesting to see what Brock Whitney wants to do here. Do you want to move a runner or 2 outs, get your top of your lineup, potentially drive in that run? You let Tyler James swing away here.
We've seen James try and bunt yesterday. Struggled with that. Popped a couple balls up high that could have had a play made on him. Let's see if he was able to work on that a little bit last night and into this morning. Well, you were talking about it yesterday. Trying to bunt a curveball is no easy task. So James hitting 200, looking for his first base hit. Does not square around that time. Takes strike one. You can cut the tension with a knife here in Orem. Mountier with the 1-1, strike two.
Great pitch there. Come back with a 1-1 off-speed pitch. Throw Tyler James off balance a little bit. He's got 2 strikes.
And the 1-2, strike three swinging. A loud cheer grows up from the Riverton fans as Stockton Fowlks makes his way to the plate. Fowlks, the leadoff hitter. He's been dangerous today. Reached the first 2 times. He's actually scored the only Mountain Ridge run this afternoon. Singled in the 3rd before coming around and scoring on an Ethan Iacono single.
We've seen it. Ball in a gap here. Goes fast. Jenkins has got speed. Potential to score from first if the ball gets to a gap.
The advantage that Mountain Ridge has right now with 2 downs, you're going to have Jenkins moving on contact. Mountier checks the runner, keeps his focus on the batter at the plate. Strike. If Fowlks can reach, Cooper Goff will have a chance. Check on the runner. Jenkins back in safely. It's the 1-1. Pop to right. Coming in on it is Talon Bruce. He's there, makes the catch. So after 7 innings of play, it's still 1-1 here in Orem. The Mountain Ridge Sentinels and the Riverton Silverwolves putting on a show for us. We head to extra innings. You're watching 6A high school baseball playoffs on KSLSports.com.
The Tab Spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
The 2 sweetest words in the English language, free baseball. Here in Orem, UCCU ballpark. The Riverton Silverwolves scored 1 run in the 1st inning. That was enough to force extras. Mountain Ridge evens the game in the 3rd. We're now headed into the top of the 8th inning. Bryce Mountier, followed by Cohen Allred and Cash Wallen due up for Riverton. Mountier waves at strike 1.
Yeah, no shock that both these teams get to full-length game and potentially the last game for one of these teams. We're now into extra innings.
Still McKay Callahan on the mound. Left-hander came in relief of Colby Clausen in the 6th inning. And there is nobody down in the Mountain Ridge bullpen, so this is Callahan's game for the time being. Mountier reaches out, puts a charge into that ball. Caught in center field by Cooper Goff. Here's Cohen Allred. Allred has one of the 5 Riverton base hits. 1 for 3 this afternoon. Well, Mike, the pace of play was great all day yesterday. We were bound to have one of these, right?
Oh, yeah. And we'll take extra innings, and especially with these two teams. This is, again, we always want to see in like championship and tournament baseball, you want to see good baseball, good fundamental baseball, hard-fought games, let the best team win. And what we're seeing right now is exactly that. Two teams evenly matched, pitching well, hitting when need to, but just unable to break the game open before we get to extras.
Callahan falls behind Allred 3-1. And misses inside. Allred draws the walk. So 1-out walk for Cohen Allred. Runner on first for Cash Wallen.
Identical situation the Mountain Ridge just had in the last half inning. Runner at first, 1 out. You bunt him over to try and advance the runner into scoring position. Let somebody hit him in.
Looks like we may have a pinch hitter here. That's Easton Levitt due up. Apologies, it's Cash Wallen that was due up. Wallen is going to head back to the dugout. He's the designated hitter today. Taking the hacks instead is number 8. Another Mozingo. This is Titan Mozingo, the younger Mozingo, a junior coming into this game. And a pinch runner for the Silverwolves as well. Coming into the game at first base is Judson Stauffer. Stauffer's a sophomore. Remember the 2027 class. Man, does that make me feel old. So Titan Mozingo taking his first hacks.
No sign of bunt there.
Stauffer takes his lead off of first. Gets away. I don't think Stauffer had eyes on that ball. He may have had a chance to advance. And we'll have a break here as a meeting on the mound.
Yeah, I think this is Brock Whitney walking out to his guys and just talking them through the situation. Runner at first, 1 out. Hey, we're looking for double play ball. What we're going to do if we get a bunt. They just reminded them they already know the game plan. Just reminded them, keeping it simple.
Double play is in order right now for the Sentinels.
During the mound visit, we saw a few extra personnel for Mountain Ridge head down to the bullpen as well.
So right-hander starting to get loose down there in the bullpen. Callahan checks the runner. Here's the 2-0. Mozingo fouls it back.
Coming off the bench to pinch hit in a situation like this, it's good to see Mozingo ready to take a nice, healthy hack at that ball.
Big secondary lead down at first base. Stauffer back in safely. Counts 3-1 for Titan Mozingo. Is he going to get the green light? Is he going to get a pitch to hit? He did get a pitch to hit, fouls it back, runs the count full. Just a little bit behind that pitch from Callahan. And strike 3, could throw down the second base. Stauffer slides in safely. You can see Brody Buck arguing with the home plate umpire, looking for a batter's interference call. To no avail. That was a call we did see yesterday on a steal attempt. So Riverton has a runner in scoring position now after the Titan Mozingo strikeout, Talon Bruce. Stauffer will be moving on contact with 2 down. Any base hit likely to give him a chance to score.
And we've seen 2 outs be the time when action happens in these games.
That pitch misses low, evens the count 1-1. Two, 3, 4 hitters due up for the Sentinels in the bottom half of the 8th. We have a quick timeout. Brody Buck making sure he's on the same page with Callahan. And that's a veteran play right there. You can't afford any mistakes in this moment.
Yeah, implications of a pass ball or a misread by the pitcher throwing a wrong pitch to the catcher, letting that runner advance to third. You don't want any of those type of mistakes here. It's better to be all on the same page.
And the 1-1, strike 2 swinging. So Bruce in a hole. 2 down, top of the 8th. Neither team has scored since the bottom of the 3rd. Bruce takes low, evening the count. Bouncer to second, should be the out. And they retire Bruce. So a runner stranded at second base by the Silverwolves. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Mountain Ridge looking for the win. Be right back. You're watching 6A High School Playoff Baseball on KSLSports.com. Back here for the bottom of the 8th inning. UCCU ballpark, as we've got a great game between the Riverton Silverwolves and the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. It's 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 2, 3, 4 due up for the Sentinels against Bryce Mountier. Left-handed hitting Cooper Goff steps into the box. Mike, we were talking about it a few minutes ago. In spite of how great these games are and the excitement, how much fun they are, I feel like the one element that is missing, and you brought this up, is that threat of just one pitch ending the game with a long ball. We just haven't seen any power at this ballpark. We haven't seen the ball fly, so it's hard to even imagine that possible right now.
Yeah, I find it ironic that we have that conversation, and now you look at the flag in center field, and it's blowing directly out of center field. So I think there's as good a chance now as there's been at all in the last 2 days to hit a home run. We've seen some stuff down the lines get really close, but nothing in the big parts of the field.
A Mountier gives a 4-pitch walk to Cooper Goff. So not how Riverton wanted to start this inning off. A free pass to the leadoff hitter. With Ethan Iacono coming to the plate, Iacono is 3 for 3. Lined the first pitch he saw in the 6th inning back up the middle. Ended up being stranded at third base.
Yeah, and you always wonder about small ball here, but with Iacono you're going 3 for 3. You let this guy swing away right now.
So Iacono takes ball 1. Mountier has missed on 5 straight pitches. You see some action in the Riverton bullpen once again.
Yeah, as always, I don't know. Guy 3 for 3 with as Ethan is seeing it right now. If you're Brock Whitney, there's a question mark whether you give him a take sign until he gets a strike.
And he does look at strike 1 right there. Nice pitch. Mountier settling down, checks the runner. Here's the 2-1. Strike 2. Pitch looked pretty similar to the second pitch in this sequence. Ruled a strike, evens the count. So Iacono hitting .348 to start the day. Goff down at first. Here's the 2-2. off the end of the bat to stay alive.
Great job by Ethan there. That pitch was outside by about at least 3 to 4 inches, but not giving it a chance, the umpire, to ring him up there. Fouls it off and go after another pitch here.
That's one thing hitters have had to be aware of all day. You have to protect on that outside zone. And strike 3 swinging. Iacono's retired for the first time today. Here's Brody Gerard. Gerard walked in the first, struck out in the third, and laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 6th. Looking for his first base hit. No better moment than the present. Both teams with 1 run on 5 hits in the ballgame. Pitch misses outside.
Good job by Levitt there to go get that. The ball was in the middle of the left-hand batter's box. He was able to slide out and get it.
Gerard fouls that pitch back. Counts 1-1. Seen Gerard make a couple of nice plays at first base today.
Oh, yeah.
Hard hit ground ball. Could be a double play. It is a 4-6-3. Riverton gets the double play, erasing a leadoff walk to Cooper Goff. We head to the 9th. Still 1-1. You're watching playoff baseball on KSLSports.com. Standing here, we head to the second extra frame. McKay Callahan still on the mound for the Sentinels. He'll be facing Gage Zulo, Easton Levitt, and McCade Ortiz, the top of the lineup. Riverton just continues to get the job done. Bryce Mountier comes in relief off of first base. Induces the inning-ending double play. It's a second inning-ending double play for Riverton today, the third double play they've turned. Counts 1-0 for Zulo. Hard hit fly ball deep center field. Going back. That's over Goff's head. Should be 3 bases. A leadoff triple for Gage Zulo. The crowd here goes crazy as Zulo gets into a ball over the head of Cooper Goff. It rolls to the wall, and he pulls into third base with a stand-up triple. And, Mike, that is Zulo's first triple of the year.
And what a time to get it. What a swing there. Completely barrels that ball up. And you saw that ball a minute off the bat. Goff turned his shoulders and started running back. Almost looked like he may have a play on it, but that ball just kept going. There is a lot of real estate behind Goff. Leadoff triple in the top of the 9th. What a start for Riverton.
No surprise here. Mountain Ridge brings the infield in, trying to keep the run off the board. Any ground ball, they'll try and come home. We'll see if Zulo's moving on contact here. Easton Levitt at the plate. He is 1 for 3 this afternoon. What a way to start the inning for the Silverwolves. There's the 2-1. Strike 2. Pitch high and outside. Levitt can't catch up. In the dirt. Good stop by Brody Buck. Counts full for Easton Levitt. Leading run 90 feet away. Riverton hasn't scored since the top of the first. That pitch doesn't count. Timeout called by Levitt. It's unfortunate for Callahan. Looked like a good pitch.
Yeah, that's the pitch you want, right on the black on the outside. Do it again.
Strike three looking. Levitt's retired. And Levitt, the catcher, has a question for the umpire before walking out of the box. Strike three looking. And puts the bat in the hand of McCade Ortiz, the Riverton leadoff hitter. But not before we have a conversation.
Yeah, Levitt knows the zone as good as anybody else today. He's been catching behind home plate, and it is tough as a catcher. Sometimes if you're a hitter, catcher going to be the hitter there, sometimes you feel like you know the zone, but just like any other hitter, you've got to protect with 2 strikes. Good call or bad call, it's up to, depends on what team you're rooting for and everything like that, but good pitch.
So that's the end of the day for McKay Callahan. He gives up the leadoff triple, strikes out Easton Levitt, and he will not face the top of the order for Riverton. As they get the call to the bullpen, bringing in a right-hander. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back with the numbers for the new Mountain Ridge pitcher as Riverton tries to take a lead here in the top of the 9th inning. You're watching 6A High School Baseball Playoffs on KSLSports.com. What a game we have brewing here in Orem. It just keeps getting better. A pitching change, McKay Callahan coming out, and a freshman, Ty Homestead, coming into the game. And don't let the title of freshman fool you. Homestead's got 4 saves this season. He's making his 17th appearance. He's 3-0 this year with a 5.09 ERA. Homestead's got his work cut out for him with a runner at third and 1 down. So you would imagine, Mike, as we look at this, probably a fair amount of strikeout in Homestead's game, and I think that's what Mountain Ridge is looking for right here.
Yeah, if you're Mountain Ridge coaching staff, you're looking for 3 outcomes here. An easy pop fly shallow in the outfield to your infielders, or a ground ball to your infielders, or a strikeout. So you look at your bullpen and you try to devise who in your bullpen is going to give you one of those 3 outcomes. It looks like Brock Whitney is going to go ahead and go with Ty Homestead to see if he can get it.
So the top of the Riverton lineup, McCade Ortiz. The tension mounting here at UCCU Ballpark. Ortiz nothing for 4 today. Ground ball to the second baseman. That's why you play the infield in.
Nice.
So that's 2 down now for the Sentinels. A leadoff triple. Runner still at third. They've got 2 outs.
Great play by Jenkins, taking on that one hop, securing it, make sure that runner stays at third, almost runs it to first. Great job by Ty Homestead. 1 pitch, 1 out. You are 1 out from getting away from a leadoff triple.
What I loved about that play from Jenkins is he fields the ball cleanly, checks on the runner, but then doesn't take any risk at making a bad throw. He trots toward first base, a soft underhand throw because he had plenty of time. You do not want to mess around here. Now with 2 down, all options available for the Sentinels. The mood has completely shifted over the course of the last 2 batters.
Another point, if your second baseman holds onto that ball as he runs to first base, that runner at third cannot go on a throw. So you always have an option throwing home. It keeps them close.
So we've got an intentional base on balls for Gage Woods. They're going to send him down to first base. I'm sure what the thought process is here is that means a force out at second base just gives you more options defensively. And it brings Stein Mazingo to the plate. Mazingo nothing for 3 with a walk. A base hit would score a run. Ball 1, misses outside. Homestead taking his time. The 1-0. Good backhanded stop by Buck. One thing you can tell from Homestead, even from this far away, is he's got some good velocity.
Yeah, he is thrown harder than we've seen other pitchers throw today. He's fallen behind in the count. Dangerous situation.
And Mozingo just gets a piece of that ball. Strike one. 2-1. Top of the ninth inning. Riverton looking for their first run since the first. Neither team has scored since the bottom of the third when Mountain Ridge put a run on the board. It has been a pitcher's duel throughout. Strike two. Mozingo ahead of that off-speed offering. That's a tough thing right now. Homestead probably has a larger disparity between his fastball and his off-speed pitch than anybody these batters have seen. The 2-2. Strike three swinging. A leadoff triple is erased as the Sentinels retire 3 in a row. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Sentinels with another chance. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com.
With a TabSpend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. TabSpend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
And we're almost halfway there. Bottom of the ninth inning of Game 2 this afternoon. Second inning of extras, and we've had a spectacular one between the Riverton Silverwolves and the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. It was a leadoff triple in the top of the ninth inning from Gage Zulo. Zulo stranded at third after a pair of strikeouts and a ground out to second base with the infield in. That sets the stage now for Bryce Mountier facing Caden Wallen, followed by Riker Morton and Brody Buck. Strike one on the outside corner.
Yeah, if you're Mountain Ridge, you want to carry some of that momentum from that last half inning, bring it into here and see if you can get a leadoff hit or a runner.
As Levitt gets caught by that foul ball. And just the wild swings of emotion every half inning in this game makes me happy I'm not a fan anymore. I could be up here and just judicious about the whole thing. 1-2 pitch coming from Mountaineer. Hard hit bouncer to second. Mozingo to Mount. One out.
Great job by Mountaineer to go ahead and get that first out.
All right, Riker Morton taking his second at-bat. Came into the game as a pinch hit replacement for Tucker Norris, the starting designated hitter. Rips the ball back up the middle as Mountier has to duck out of the way of that line drive, so a one-out single from Riker Morton. Now Brody Buck. Off-speed curveball right in the middle of the zone for strike one. Buck 0 for 2 this afternoon with a walk. Checks the runner. Here's the 0-1. Another base hit. So back-to-back base hits. Brody Buck on base now. Tegan Jenkins coming to the plate. I would imagine we're going to have a pinch runner come in for Buck. Runners at first and second with one down. And the pinch runner coming in.
That may be the end of the day for Mountaineer.
Once again, that pinch runner, Simeon Bakayoko. Right-handed senior Jackson Young's been warming up in the Riverton bullpen for quite a while, off and on, but Mountaineer will stay in this ballgame. He'll have a chance to face Tegan Jenkins. So Bakayoko at first base running for Buck. Riker Morton out at second, representing the winning run. Bottom of the ninth inning, one down, two on. Tegan Jenkins at the plate. Base hit into the gap. Riker Morton gets the signal. Save! A walk-off single for Tegan Jenkins. The Mountain Ridge Sentinels live to play another day. A walk-off hit. And the Riverton Silverwolves season comes to a close. What a game!
Unbelievable. Tegan Jenkins with the play in the bottom half of the inning, or in the top half of the inning, to save the run from scoring in Riverton. Comes back in the bottom half of this inning with a game-winning clutch single to drive in the winning run. What a battle between these two teams.
A pitching duel comes to a close with three straight singles by the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Mountain Ridge ends the game with 2 runs on 7 hits, working around a pair of errors. The Riverton Silverwolves fall, scoring 1 run on 6 base hits. Mountain Ridge will play the final game tonight. They'll face American Fork probably a little bit after 7 o'clock this evening. A spectacular game. We are halfway through our slate of 4 here at UCCU Ballpark. And if any of the rest of them can live up to that, we're in for a lot of fun. I'm Brian Priest. He's Mike Matthews. We'll be back for Game 3 between the Davis Darts and the Lehigh Pioneers. You're watching 6A High School Playoff Baseball on KSLSports.com.